Welcome to SmartWeb YouTube channel. So today I'll be teaching you Python set methods. Now, how you can use these set methods on Python. And what is Python set method? It's just an ordered mutable collections of unique elements in Python. Now we have a lot of them. We have something like remove, add, copy, and so on and so forth. So we'll be going through it. But before we dive into this video, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that what you subscribe. You can see we are growing rapidly. The only way you can help us to grow very fast is for you to subscribe, and the only way to support us is for you to subscribe. If you like this video, this is a thumbs up, and share to your friends. So let's dive straight into it. First thing um will be I'll be showing how to use add. Now, first one is, let me show you how to use add in a set. If you have something like this, 2, 3, and 4, how do you use add for this? Now you have assigned this set to this variable called a. Now how do you add another element to this particular set? You just use an inbuilt function, this Python inbuilt function. Click here. What's the element that you want to add there? You want to add anything like 6, you want to add anything like 5. All you need to do is just what, type the 5 here and print it out. Now it's very simple, right? A. Now, and click, you can see that 5 has been added to this. Okay, for the editor I'm using Google Colab. Now you can use Jupyter Notebook, you can use VS Code, any editor that you want to use. Now the second thing, I'll be fast as possible. The second thing I want to show you is how to use clear. Now if you have an element like this, let's copy this. Have an element like this, and you want to clear all the elements inside this variable called a. What do you want to do? You can set a dot what, you use an inbuilt function clear. You can see there's a suggestion there. When you print s here, it throws an error. Let me use print, sorry, s a, sorry. Okay. Now you can see this is an empty set, right? This is an empty set. You have cleared all the elements inside this particular set. Now another Python set method I'll be showing you is what we call what, copy. Now if you have something like this, let me still copy it. You have something like this, and you want to copy this. B goes to a dot copy. Now in copy, there's what we call different types of copy. You have what we call the shallow copy, you have what we call the deep copy. Now I'll explain this. Let's come to this. Now this thing I'm doing now is what we call the shallow copy. It changes the output copy. Let me say print. Remember what we are using, a. If you do this, you can see it copied exactly what is inside this set, right? Now let me show you the difference between the shallow copy and the deep copy. Now I have to not waste time, I have already done this here, so let me paste it here. Now you can see we have the original one. We have this inside a nested, right? We have this already. Let me import the inbuilt function copy. Okay, it can still work this way if you did not import it, but let's see. Now this is the original value, right? These are the values assigned to this variable, and this the shallow copy, which is copy original. Now what does this do? You can see that this shallow, first, what's it called here? This is called slicing, right? This means it should change the first value of this inside this nested bracket, and it should also change the second 0, means it should also change the first element here to 100. This is what it means. So when it prints, you can see that the shallow copy gives us what, this these things change. Now the original change, and the shallow copy also change. That means the original and the shallow are the same thing, right? But in deep copy, the deep, when you deep copy it, the deep change, the original doesn't change. So let's try that. If you have something like this, copy, and you do it this way using deep copy, now you can see that this is deep copy, right? Using this function deep copy and doing copy copy, this is shallow copy. Now what happens here, the first one, if you can notice, the first one, the original is unchanged, but the deep copy is unchanged. So when you do deep copy, the original still remain the same, only the replicated value that will change. But when you do shallow copy, the original and the shallow also changes. So that's the difference. Now let's dive into other things. um let's talk about union. Now when you want to make use of union, let me use, how many sets do I use here? Let me do this. Let me copy this, and let me put another one here, equals to a set. We have three, sorry, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now when you make use of union, what does union do? Union make sure that it combines all these elements together. Now when you have C equals to a dot union, a dot union bracket b, right? Now let's print our C. Now you can see it combines the first element and it combines the first set of elements and the second set of elements together, making it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that's what union does. Now another thing we have to do is what we call a pop. What does pop do? Now pop method removes and return arbitrary elements from the set. Now when you're making use of when you want to make use of pop, especially in machine learning, you know that when you want to separate your data, pop is very important. So it removes and returns the arbitrary element from the set, raises key error if the set is empty. Now what do I mean by that? If you have something like this, let me copy this. If you have something like this, the first element, and you have x is equals to a dot pop in bracket, let's print x and see what happens. Let's print x and see what happens. You can see x is printed as what? At 1. Now let's print a. Let's print a because this is what? An empty set. Now let's print a and see what happens. Let's print a here. A. Now a printed what? 2, 3, 4. Now when you print x, when you print what? X, what happened? It removed this particular one and assigned it separately, right? It removed this particular one and assigned it differently. Now assigned it to x. That means anytime you press x here, what will come out is 1, and the remaining one is what? Is what remaining, which is a. Now in data science or in machine learning, when you want to separate your value, you have your y truth and you have your x value. Now this is a very good way of using pop. Now another thing you have to make use of is interception. Now let's copy this value, interception. Let's copy this value. Now what does interception do? Now interception returns the intersection of what? Two sets. When you have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, then you have something like, okay, let me assume we have 1, 2, 3, and we have something like, here we have something like 3, 4, and 5. Now what does this intersection do? It returns the intersection of what? Two set. Now this equals to C equals to A dot intersect, sorry, um B. Now let's print it out for you to understand. C. Now you can see that what is intersection here. You can see that intercepted two value, which is the two common elements, that are the two common elements, that means 3 and this 3 are common to A and B. So this what intersection do, it prints that particular element that are common to these two variables, which is A and B. Now what other thing are we going to do here? We also have what we call discard. Now what does discard do? Discard method removes an element from the set if it is a member. If the element is not a member, nothing happens. Now if you have something like this, if you have something like this and you have x dot discard, x dot discard, what's this element here? Let me print 3. Now if you print this, it removes the element from that set. Let's print s here. Let why is throwing sorry A using other element A here. Now it's removed. You can see that it removes 3 from this particular element. Now it acts like, what's it called, it acts like pop. Pop only, what pop does is pop assign this particular value to this particular variable, that we use, but discard removes it entirely. Now when you print something that is not in the set, what happens? Nothing happens. For example, now when we discard something like there's no 4 in the set, let's reprint it. You can see that nothing happens. It returns this particular thing here. It returns the whole element inside the set. Nothing happens. It doesn't throw an error because there is no 4 inside this set, right? Now the another thing is what difference. What the difference? It just return the difference between two sets. Returns the difference between two sets. Now if you have let me copy these two sets here. If you have this set here, we have 1 2 3, right? And we have 3 4 5. Now we have C. You know what difference means? We have C. Now each element there, it returns the what? The difference. A dot, let me say the difference of, right, B. Now let's print the output of C. Print C. You can see what it returns, what, 1 and 2, right? Now that's the difference in the output of what, the first element and the second what element. Okay, so another element that we want to check, which I wrote down here, is what we call the symmetric difference. Now let me cut this here. When you push this here, now what does it do? We have these two elements here, the two variables A and B. So these are two sets, right? 1 2 3, and we have the 3 4. Now symmetric element, what it does that it will arrange this thing in a symmetrical order. That means it will print 1 2 and 1 2 3, 1 2 4. Now if you click here, now you can see it printed what, 1 2 4. Now the symmetric element is, it's due to this 3 and 3 are common with this set, it will remove it and print what, 1 2 and what, 4. That's the symmetrical difference. Now another one that we have to check here is what I call the what, its subset. It either print true or false. For example, now if you have this, the first set that we have A, we have the A, which is 1 2, and we have the B, 1 2 3. Now what does this its subset does? When you print A, it's a subset of B. Now the answer should be true because A, this particular A is found inside here. Now you can see it's true now. But when we do this, when we do this and use B, the answer will be false because A, the answer will be false. This is false. Why? Because B here is not a subset of A. 3 cannot be found inside A, but 1, 2 can be found inside B. So B is a superset of what? Of A. Now, if I print this way, B superset. Okay, let me copy it here. Let me show you so that I will not waste your time. Let me copy it here. Now you can see that A is 1, 2, 3 and B is 2, 3. 2, 3 is 2, 3 is also found in what? In B, right? In this set of 1, 2, 3, in this set of element 1, 2, 3, that means A is a superset of B, which is true. So this is how it works. And then another thing is what? Disjointed set. You can look at it, disjointed set. Now, do they have, this is true because what? There is no common element inside. That's why it's disjointed. It's true because A have 1, 2 and B have 3 and 4. So there is no common element. But if I do this, if I have something like 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and I have something like, okay, let me make it 5, and I have something like 5 here. Now the answer will be false because it's not disjointed. There is common element between the two. Do you see? The answer is false. So for it to be disjointed set, there should not be what? Common element found in them. Found in them. So this is here we'll stop today. If you find this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, share to your friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.